Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting stream on the Just Baseball Network. It is Thursday, April 13th. Always get the date wrong, but today I got it right. And we're going to get some picks right today because we've been serving up a platter of cake. Not going to lie to you. My big thing is I want to be as transparent as possible. Overall, on my picks this season, I'm 22-20, up 0.61 units. It's the worst start to an MLB season I've ever had. But as you can see by my face, I'm not even close to phased because we've had some bad beats. We haven't had the ball bounce our way. But I believe in my research. I believe in my formula. It has won me tons of units over the past couple of seasons, and we're going to win today. But I have some picks that you might not necessarily like. You might like my favorite one, the underdog. We'll see. But it's only a half unit play. But just some housekeeping things before we begin. Again, all lines are sponsored by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. If you use code JB200, which I highly recommend you do for any new user because you just get free coin. $10, you wager $10 on any MLB money line. And once it is settled, you will get up to $200 in bonus bets. All prize picks entries, which we're going to currently sweat out later today. Cedric Mullins, bang, single, walk, stolen base. That's 10 points. That's over 8.5. We already got one leg down. All prize picks lines are sponsored by Prize Picks. I always say that. All Prize Picks lines are sponsored by Prize Picks. Use code JUSTBASEBALL when you download for a full instant deposit match up to $100 if you haven't downloaded Prize Picks yet. Of course, we're going to go over my Prize Picks play. It won't count for the competition because it started before 4:30, and that's the point of this show, right? We count all bets that you can tail. It's not fair for us to count a bet for a competition between myself and all the cappers if it starts before you, the watcher, the listener, you're perfect out there, can't tail, right? That's not fair. So we're going to talk about all the games that are post-stream, right? The 6:40, the 7 p.m., the 8 p.m., 9, 10 p.m. games in order for us all to win coin together. And the great part about it is, let's say I'm on a cold streak, right? Like I am right now. We're bringing on so many talented cappers who are going to give their picks. We're going to talk about every game so you can take pieces of analysis. We're going to go over our model, which we do all the time, talk through each individual game in order to give you the best chance of winning, because that's all we want to do here. It's us against the books, and let's get started. So again, just to recap, we do a recap every day of yesterday. We talk about my picks that we're currently going to get to. We go over the model, and we do any prize picks entries that we currently have. And then we have all the cappers come on, and it's a competition. Whoever wins gets World Series tickets. Whoever gets second place is a $500 cash prize. If you subscribe to this Twitch channel and I win or I get second, I'm giving away my World Series tickets. I'm giving away my $500 cash prize to a subscriber of this Twitch channel. Sound good? We do this every day, Monday through Friday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern to 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully you stick around and enjoy the show. I'm having a great time doing it. It's our first, year of doing this, and it's already been a blast. Thank you guys for tuning in. But producer Cohen, let's do a quick recap of yesterday. So it sucked, right? I mean, I was the idiot who faded the Rays, who will not lose, and it's insane. Remember those 4 innings where the Rays were losing for a second, and then they just came back today? But I wasn't that bad of an idiot, right? I mean, I kind of was, because I believe that Chris Sale wasn't washed, or at least that the Rays wouldn't destroy him. But I did think Taj Bradley was struggling. So maybe looking back on it, I should have been on the over. But the point of it was that I didn't think Taj Bradley was ready yet. And he did give up 3 runs and didn't get out of the 5th inning. The problem was that Chris Sale gave up a 3-run home run to Randy Rosarina in the 1st inning, and then it just all unraveled, and they never even had a shot. The Red Sox almost came back and won that game, but overall, the point of that bet was, I get Chris Sale at plus money against a rookie who I don't think is ready. The rookie proved he wasn't ready yet. He already just got optioned back to AAA. But Chris Sale allowed 6 runs, and that ended up being a loser. What wasn't on stream, which started before, Arizona Diamondbacks first 5, bang. Arizona money line, bang. Miami Marlins versus Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, I don't even blame the Marlins. I was expecting 3 to 4 runs from the Marlins. But the Phillies? Are you kidding? Bailing out Edward Cabrera, bad swing decisions. You can't hit the Marlins bullpen, who ranked 29th in Sierra, skill interactive ERA. That's on you. That's not on me. But it is on me because I made the pick. And we move, right? We move. let's get into the first picks of the day, producer Cohen. And we're going to start. What are we starting with? Pittsburgh? Let's start with Pittsburgh on the money line for a half unit, not a full unit. It's worth a stab because I'm seeing a ton of value. And I'm going to tell you why. So the starting pitching matchup is Jordan Montgomery against Vince Velasquez. And even just saying that, you want to take Cardinals money line. You want to take Cardinals -1.5, and I get it, right? Cardinals are better than Pittsburgh. But what I will say is the Pirates are playing pretty good ball right now. And I kind of like that they got shut out yesterday because my baseball brain is crazy like that. I sometimes like tailing teams after they score 0 runs. And the reason I like tailing this offense today is because they went up against Jose Urquidy yesterday, who they didn't match up very well against. But they do match up well against, who's the starter for the Cardinals again? My mind just blanked. Jordan Montgomery. I'm an idiot. My mind just blanked. They match up pretty well against Jordan Montgomery. And you're seeing here beating up on a lefty. That's the point. Jordan Montgomery in his career, I know this as a Yankee fan, has always kind of struggled against right-handed bats. And what the Pirates are going to do today is they're going to put between 7 to 8 different right-handed bats in the lineup. Now, a lot of the names you might not know, but it should be said that Jordan Montgomery has struggled off worse right-handed bats. And that's what they're going to give us. Remember a couple of days ago when we were on the Astros versus the Pirates over? They actually kind of got to Framber, who's a much better pitcher than Jordan Montgomery. I think Jordan Montgomery's due for a little bit of regression. I think he's a fine pitcher. But the reason I like it is it fits a system that was really profitable for last year. I know we haven't started out great, but if you could remember, I did make 44 units last year, so I'm not a total moron. We're just off to a little bit of a rough start, but it's going to normalize. What I like to do is I like to fade teams coming off a series at Coors that didn't get an off day, right? It's a system that's been profitable. You can say it doesn't make any sense, but it has been a profitable system. The teams who have to deal with leaving altitude then traveling back without an off day tend to struggle. They do. And I know they're going to face Vince Velasquez today, who isn't the best pitcher. But what I'm relying on is that Vince Velasquez gives us somewhat of a quality start, which then leads to a Pirates bullpen who do have a lot of their high leverage arms available. And I know you're saying, well, the Pirates' high leverage arms in their bullpen, like, aren't they garbage? They're not that bad, and which has led to the Pirates having a winning record this year. Now, will the Pirates have a winning record all year? Of course not. I mean, they might, but it's highly doubtful. Will the Cardinals be better? Of course. But in this game in particular, a line of plus 200 or more against Jordan Montgomery where the Cardinals haven't looked their best, it's a value play, right? When I saw this line, I expected it to be Cardinals -170, Pirates +150. Probably wouldn't have a play on it. But it's Cardinals -275. That's just so overvalued. So that's the play here. It's a play on value. It's a play on that system. But do I genuinely, and like being truthful here, am I saying, oh yeah, Pirates are a full unit, they're definitely going to win? No. Right? It's a line play, it's a value play, and it's worth half a unit. So that's what I'm going with. I like the Pirates, plus 200 or more. The model actually thinks, weirdly, that they should be plus 114. So the model even likes it more than I do. And I think it's worth a half unit stab. So I'm going to be on the Pirates today. Nobody's going to be on it. About 90% of bets, 90% of the money is on the Cardinals. Maybe they do win. I'm going to pay to find out. Let's go to our second play of the day. Ooh, this is actually my favorite play of the day. So, I'm from Santa Barbara, California, and I've been to San Diego many times. When I heard that the marine layer is thick, I immediately wanted to play the under. But of course, just because the weather is thick and it's going to be cold doesn't necessarily mean an under. But there are some more factors that might lead to this under. Reason number one. Another system which I played last year that was profitable for us again was teams traveling across the country without an off day. Padres just played a tough series against the Mets. Their offense didn't even look that great. And now they have to travel all the way to San Diego without the off day. It doesn't help bats. They usually come out slow. Then when we look at the Brewers, they just aren't hitting. I don't know what to tell you. I think they put up 4 or 5 runs in that series against the Diamondbacks. We smacked the Diamondbacks yesterday on this same logic. This Brewers offense started out so hot, and since then they're kind of that's how I describe the offense right now. It hasn't been very good. So I look at 2 starting pitchers. I look at Nick Martinez, and it honestly still hasn't been announced whether it's going to be Eric Lauer or Bryce Wilson. I don't really care because I'm playing that system. I'm playing the weather under, and we're even starting to see some 8.5s in the market. I got it at 9. I think on BetMGM right now, I'm looking at the book. It's still 9, which I still would grab. But this game has been removed from some books because of that starting pitcher mishap. But it's not the point of the starting pitchers, right? I'm not even betting on the first 5 under, because both teams have all of their high leverage arms available. I'm not a huge fan of either bullpen, but I am when they have high leverage arms available. When Devin Williams is available, when Josh Hader is available, guys like that. Luis Garcia hasn't looked great, but I was on that over in Mets versus Padres, and Luis Garcia did look like he had his stuff back. So that's a good thing in our general direction, right? I can hate Luis Garcia once I see that his stuff isn't there, but then when it comes back, kind of like Zach Gallen, right? We didn't love him at the beginning. Then his stuff kind of returned. So we have to make adjustments, and Luis Garcia is still a good reliever. So the Brewers have their best available. Padres have their best available. The marine layer is thick, which is already in a pitcher's park, which is tough to hit in. And we have tons of travel, which just the bats shouldn't show up. 9 is just too high, and our model has it at 8. I'm a big fan of both these plays. I think the Pirates win, all right? I do. Now, do I love it as much as the Brewers versus Padres under? Not particularly, but it's worth the value. It's way overvalued. My model thinks so. My brain thinks so. So I'm rolling with the Pirates today. I'm rolling, but for a half unit. For a half unit. And then I'm going to roll with the Brewers versus the Padres under for 1.1 units. What? Oh, yeah. Do you guys know what the marine layer is? So the marine layer in Southern California, it comes from the ocean. It creates like this super thick, humid air where it's tough for the ball to fly. It's weird. It happens sometimes at Dodger Stadium too, but it can sometimes happen in San Diego. And I looked at the weather today. It's supposed to be like 56 degrees. It's a night game, which also, if you can believe this, Nick Martinez 2.8 ERA in night games. Kind of sick. Nick Martinez deals at night. During the day, he's like a 4.4 ERA or something. But it ain't during the day. It's at night. So the marine layer is something to monitor. It's really good for unders. Southern California. I know my Southern California, if anyone's listening, they know what that means. It's this thick, musty air where the ball just doesn't fly as much, and they're already playing in a pitcher's park. Petco Park, historically, big ballpark, sometimes tough to hit there. I really like this under. That's definitely my favorite play, but why not us with the Pirates? You want a plus 200 dog? Come on. Sometimes we take plus 200 dogs and we see what happens. I take value when I see it. I see a ton of value on the Pirates today. But again, my favorite play. Let's go over the prize picks entry. This won't count for the competition. Those other 2 plays will because, of course, we have hours till game time. Cedric Mullins, bang! Over 8.5 fantasy points. Landed on 10. Single, walk, stolen base. That equals 10. So right now what we are doing is we are waiting on Joe Ryan over 2.5 earned runs. What I know about the Yankees as a Yankee fan, and I know we got a question, hey, Pete, if you're from Southern California, why aren't you a Doyers fan? First of all, I was born in Staten Island, New York. My dad was a big Yankee fan. My whole family is Yankee fans. And then we moved to California when I was like 2 years old. So I lived my whole life. And I was thinking like, oh, maybe the Dodgers will kind of be my second team. But then all my dumb shit friends were all Dodger fans and they would talk so much shit to me. So now I kind of hate the Dodgers. Not really, because I cover them and I love watching them play. But my home friends are all Dodger fans and I want them to all be in pain. So now I hope they lose for them, but I do like watching them play. So I'm a secret fan of the Dodgers because I like them. But for my friends, I hope they lose, and I hope all of my home friends are in pain constantly. So going back to Joe Ryan, over 2.5 earned runs. What I know about the Yankees is they own the Twins. Yankee fans know it. Twins fans know it. The rest of baseball fans might not. The Yankees historically own the Twins, and they have done really well against Joe Ryan. Last time Joe Ryan pitched against the Yankees, 4 innings, 4 earned runs. But it's not even just about the earned runs, because there have been starts where Joe Ryan has had against the Yankees where he pitched generally okay, but there's runners on base all the time. The Yankees just see him well. They do. So I'm willing to bet, considering over 2.5 earned runs is minus 135 on books. And you don't really see that for a guy like Joe Ryan because he is a good pitcher. But I think I know why, because the Yankees own that man. The Yankees own that man. Now, is it a lock? No. Could he shut them out? Yes. Do I think it's going to happen? Absolutely not. I think the Yankees score at least 3 runs off Joe Ryan today. So that won't count for the competition again because unless you follow all my stuff in the morning, you couldn't tail Cedric Mullins. But I just wanted to go over it of why, if you need an extra leg, why I like Joe Ryan today. Producer Cohen, I think it's time to bring out the model. Again, this is the Ballpark Pal model. We go over park factors, game simulations, and a matchup machine in order to give you some kind of a starting point. A model is not something to follow blindly, or at least this one isn't. A model is to give you a starter to then do more research, and we'll kind of talk it out. That's why I love to bring some specific games in the equation, and we'll go over them, all right? Because we only have, 4 games on the night slate? Producer Cohen, 5? 4 games. Let's start talking about them. Also, how do you guys like the bobbleheads? Producer Cohen, can you show the bobbleheads real quick? What do you think? Look at these. Kind of cool, right? Look at all baseball-y. All right, let's keep going. Wait, hey, Pete, Seattle Mariners fan here. Do you have concerns early with Ray and Munoz being hurt, lack of hitting depth, or just a slow start and should bounce back? Slow start, should bounce back. I'm on the Mariners to win the World Series. I'm on the Mariners at over 87.5 wins. So the Mariners, the Guardians, and the Diamondbacks are my 3 biggest preseason bets. I think the Mariners are just off to a rough start. As a Mariners fan, I think you know that they're kind of always on a slow start to begin the year. I think they'll be totally fine. Let's get back into the model. Okay, the first game of the model is the Philadelphia Phillies against the Cincinnati Reds. We have Bailey Falter facing off against Nick Lodolo. Now, this was kind of surprising to me because generally the Reds are a team that I want to take in this spot, right? We talk about the Reds all the time. We almost talk about the Reds more than any other team. I don't know why, but they're always in the mix as something. Whether it's a player prop, whether it's good starting pitching, they're always in the mix. And Nick Lodolo, you would think, all right, he's been pitching unbelievably well. He's good at home historically. The Phillies offense, they haven't been good. Well, they were good and then they weren't good. And then you have Bailey Falter, who's a lefty who the Reds prefer hitting against lefties, especially at home. This is their better split. This is normally games that the Reds win. But I found it really interesting that the model really liked the Phillies. And I could see why, right? I like the Reds. I generally think if the Reds were plus money, I would definitely consider playing them. I was talking about that on my TikTok live today. But it's almost like the market knows that they shouldn't, if that makes sense. I just think they're overvalued, right? So I bet on value. That's been profitable for me for years now. It's not just about betting, I think this team is going to win, so I bet on them. Now, the Reds might win, and if the Reds were plus 120, I might take them. But at minus 130, minus 135 now on BetMGM, it's just getting to a point where it's overvalued, in my opinion. I kind of agree with the model. I think this is a coin flip game. The Phillies are better than the Reds. They are. And Bailey Falter has been pitching pretty well this season, too. Nick Lodolo is getting all the hype because he's amazing. But Bailey Falter, let's not forget, he's been good for the Phillies. He's arguably been the best Phillies pitcher this season. I'm sure I want to see what the Phillies are looking at, too. Or Phillies fans, excuse me. Because Zach Wheeler has pitched pretty well. Aaron Nola has not pitched very well. Ranger Suarez is still hurt. Andrew Painter is still working back from that UCL. Taijuan Walker has been I think Bailey Falter's been their best pitcher. Tough game. Wanted to go over it. I wouldn't play the Reds, but again, I wouldn't play the Phillies either. Kind of a no bet for me. Kind of a pass. Why aren't you playing the Pirates at plus 1.5? Still plus money, just curious. Because I think they win the game. I'm ready. I think they win the game. Because I kind of think the Cardinals either blow them out or they win. If that makes sense. Because my read is either right where they win. I don't love plus 1.5 bets anyway. Because if I like it, I'm just going to take them to win. Right? Because plus 1.5, you're working with a slimmer margin there. And then also, let's say, you could play Pirates plus 1.5. I'm just going for the money line. I'm going for the glory for a half unit. Let's go over the next game in the model. Ooh, this one's a good one. This is Joe Ryan against Johnny Brito of the New York Yankees. As we can see, the model absolutely loves the Yankees, and I agree. The only reason I'm not betting on the Yankees is because I banned them, because I'm a terrible Yankees bettor, and I sometimes jinx my own team, and I hate doing that. But what I do know is Johnny Brito has been just fantastic. His changeup is incredible. And Joe Ryan, Yankees kind of own him. Now, the Twins are a trendy dog, which I don't generally like. You know, a lot of people see Joe Ryan, Johnny Brito, and they're like, oh, let's fade the Yankees, right? I don't know about that. I like the Yankees today. I do think they win. They get to, they're traveling from Cleveland to New York, which isn't great, but so are the Twins. And I just think the Yankees are better than the Twins right now, and the Yankees historically own them. And I think they show it in the first game of the series. And this is another reason why I like Joe Ryan over 2.5 earned runs. As you can see, the Yankees are projected 3.381 runs through 5 innings. Is that off the backs of Joe Ryan? I'm hoping. It would really stink if Joe Ryan gives up 9 hits, 2 earned through 3, and gets removed, and then we get screwed. But I do think that Joe Ryan over 2.5 runs is a good way to play the Yankees without playing them, because I'm scared. And I do like the Yankees to end up winning this game. I don't like the Twins at all. They think the total is pretty spot on. They're showing slight value on the over. I think if you're going to play this game, you should play the Yankees, personally. Again, I'm not. I'm just playing Joe Ryan over 2.5 earned runs because I'm scared. So let's move on to the next game. Next game on the model. Ooh, we got this game. The model is definitely showing value on the Tigers. The problem is Spencer Turnbull is going to give you some sinkers today. Now, it's not all sinker fastball. He's got a fastball, he's got a slider, but the Blue Jays tee off against those pitches. And that's why, I was thinking about the Tigers today. I think that the Tigers are overvalued. The Blue Jays are 100% overvalued. But again, just because a team is overvalued doesn't mean we play them. The reason I played the Pirates is not only do I think they're overvalued, but I think they actually have a chance of winning. This game, I think, is very challenging because while Chris Bassett, I don't expect to pitch all that well, I don't think Turnbull's going to pitch well. That's why the model is showing slight value on the over. I agree with it. The only problem with playing the total is it got so damn high. It got so high that it's just like, a lot of things have to go well. And I still do like the Blue Jays bullpen. So I could see Bassett struggling. Maybe the Tigers win through 5. But then what the Blue Jays have shown is that later in games, they just pile on runs. That's why it's a really tough game to cap. If I had to make a lean, I would say the over is the play, but the problem is the total has just gotten so high that it's a little bit unbearable for me. So that's kind of my analysis on this game. The Blue Jays match up really well against Turnbull, but then again, the Tigers match up well against Bassett. Maybe consider a first 5 over because I don't think either one of these pitchers pitches all that well. I think it's a pretty decent play. The only problem is kind of juice. Tigers team total over 3.5. Not a bad play at all. As you can see by the model, they love that play. You'd be fading Bassett, but the problem is Tigers, they match up well against Bassett, but sometimes even when they match up well, they just don't show up. That's why they're the Tigers. That's why they're 2-9. The Tigers and the Pirates are not similar. Pirates are 7-5. Tigers are 2-9. They're different teams. There's one team that's, playing above their pay grade right now, and there's one team that's playing below their pay grade, and that's the Detroit Tigers. Tough game. I'm laying off it, but I think Tigers team total is a decent play. I think the first 5 over is a decent play. And if you want to take a swing, I think the Tigers money line is in play. I'm not going to play it, but it's in play. Let's move on to the next game on the model. This is the game I was talking to you guys about. Looky here. Oh, we're going to have to. Okay. This is what I'm talking about, right? Pirates versus Cardinals. Look at that value. Now, the model simulates games 1,000 times. And they have the Pirates winning simulations 46.8% of the time. Implied line plus 114. Right now, they're anywhere from plus 215 to plus 230. I think they're worthy of a play, ladies and gentlemen. I really do. Because it's not like the Tigers where I think they actually have a good chance of winning this ball game. And as you can see, they still give the Cardinals the slight edge, but there's just a ton of value on this game. They have the total at about even, but as you can tell, I think the model kind of likes the Pirates to bang on this Cardinals bullpen, and I think that's very possible. I think the Pirates can win through 5. I think they can win through the full game money line. I think it's a pretty smart play today. I like the Pirates. Vince Velasquez, he's not that good, but he's still a major league pitcher. And Jordan Montgomery doesn't match up well against a very right-handed lineup. Give me the Pirates. Give me the Buccos. I think they win today. Now, if you're a little bit more risk averse, I guess is the term. Maybe that's not even the term. I don't even know. But if it's a little bit too risky, consider Pirates plus 1.5, right? I know some people are going to come on, give the Cardinals. They're going to give their pitch. So again, listen to everyone's pitches, right? Our collab cam is broken right now, so we have to restart the stream. We'll be back in about 1 minute. So just come back in. Everyone's going to give their picks. People are going to be on the Cardinals. So it's a great game to talk about, go through why some people like it, some people don't. I know some people are going to come on and give Pirates. Some people are going to come on and give Cardinals. It really is the game of the day. I'm excited. Just wait 1 second. We're going to restart the stream and then restart it. All right?